Hey, everybody. Let me tell you about the time I used to perfect myself right into inaction and silence. If you're just joining me, my name is Lori Bell, and I want to tell you about a time years ago when I was creating my first podcast. So I remember, how you get the motivation, the inspiration. I want to do something big. I want to start something. So I decided I wanted to start a podcast. This is probably almost a decade ago. And I'll never forget this because that was the first time like I stayed up all night for something, and launch day came and it came and went. I wasn't ready. You know why I wasn't ready? Because I felt like there was more that was needed. Maybe the graphics need to pop a little more. So I pushed the launch. And then that day came and well, I feel like maybe I need just a little more feedback. Let me ask two or three more people just to make sure it hits, right? That day came and went, and then it was more. I think I need some testimonials, some proof. Because I just saw so and so, and she did her thing, and she had tons of testimony. Maybe I need some more things. So I was reminiscing on my journey and how far I've come, how far yet there is to go. But the journey to being here was fascinating. And what I thought, wow, look at how I normalized the pattern of perfection, thinking that I needed just a little more, just a little bit. But here's the thing, I saw this everywhere. So now fast forward, and I can see it now so clearly. I see it in council board meetings where I'm asked to sit on councils and, come into these, sit on these meetings and help people make decisions and whatever. And I remember, just watching the room freeze because it's like, everybody has their own little part, right? We have our own little pieces to the puzzle, but it was like, you know what? Let's do this just a little more. Let's tighten this up just a little bit. And there are always several points in the process when it can be good as it is. It can stand the way it stands. And there has to come a time when you trust your energy enough, you trust your presence enough that it is enough. So I've seen that where women in high levels of leadership will stay up all night, just like I did years ago. They'll miss dinners and they'll miss important events of their lives and they'll miss birthdays because you know what? It's got to be right. I'm not ready yet. Maybe if I had just this other thing. I've seen how women apologize for their rough drafts. That's not really that rough. It's actually gems. They're polished gems, but it doesn't quite meet the standard. What really catches my attention is not the perfectionism itself, because we can identify with that. That's actually not that's not the thing. The perfectionism. What it is the message that we're sending and what we're actually saying. We think we're maintaining standards and we think that excellence demands perfection. What we are really orchestrating is permission, permission to be brilliant, permission to put it on display. We don't give ourselves a permission for imperfections or to slow down and realize nobody has it all together. Quite honestly, I'm reading from notes right now because I want to make sure I hit a point that I want you to get. And I don't mind that you're knowing that, because if I waited until I got it all right, I would never speak to you. This message would never be out. So what I want you to understand that, every feedback, every perfect PowerPoint, everything that you think you need, that is not proof of excellence. That's proof of I need to know that I can. I want to know, am I worthy of it? I want to know, is it good enough? And I really want to know, am I good enough? Because see, what lies beneath that is not about excellence or standards. That's not the conversation you're having. It's wanting to know that if I check all the boxes, well, then will they see me? Then will it count? When I think about who I was years ago, that young woman, younger woman, who was perfecting her podcast, that younger version of me polishing every single word because she felt like it had to be right. I can see her now with such clarity and such gratitude. I'm so thankful for the path that I've walked. And I can look back on this and I realize that there is something quite telling of the space between power and perfection. Mhm. I'm going to come back tomorrow with some more insights about what I'm seeing in these leadership spaces. I'll see you later. Thank you for joining me.